We're live in the community, live in the room here, and TikTok. TikTok, I can't see your comments, but like always, we're keeping this about 15 minutes, give or take. And so we're just going to talk about what we saw yesterday, how that's played out, kind of where we see today going, things to watch for, as well as some news, right? So obviously, the key thing today is going to be the economic news. I talked about this yesterday. I had this up on the screen. We already had the initial one drop, which was the non-farm employment change. You can see the results there. Obviously, that has impacted the market bullish so far. So as the first one gets underway, we are fairly bullish. The PMI drops at 10. 10 o'clock is going to be wild because you got to PMI plus you got the jolts. Last time the jolts dropped, I mean, I think the last time the jolts dropped, I was live, or I can't remember if I was live or not. But I mean, we dropped like, it was like $5 in like 5 minutes. I mean, it was so crazy. So we could see a lot of bullish news, from this. PMI could come out positive and jolts could come out negative, right? I mean, you gotta be prepared for that balance and be prepared to diversify on that. So. But 10 o'clock is a huge time frame, and then right after that at 2 o'clock. So, gonna be a big day. If everything comes out bullish, I mean, shoot, we could be at 425, 430, today. I mean, if it comes out some bullish, some bearish, and the Feds do what they say they're gonna do and not raise the rates, then we could be just see a lot of pump, a lot of dump, and be back to where we were. So, couple things of caution here, guys. I zoomed out here on the 1 hour. This was kind of a range we were watching to judge this breakout. So far that has happened. What I want to caution you guys for, and I want you to watch these ranges on your news, is just take a simple trend line like this, upward, just kind of following this channel like that. You could do something simple like this. And just watch that, right? Because if we do this and we continue to go sideways like that, and then we pull this one down and we pull this one up, right? We kind of just have this rising channel. So there could be a chance that we could see some bullish push with the early news, get as high as 420.87 or so, and then get that rejection. And if we do break this this kind of upper trend line, or this upward trend line here, that could break us south pretty fast too. So on the 1 hour, here's our 200. We haven't tested this 200 since 432. So not at all, right? I mean, we haven't came close. So for us to test that and get at least somewhat of a rejection is probably pretty highly likely. Unless the news is just crazy bullish today and we just shoot right past it. That would be the only way I would see we just blow through that. Other than that, if we get above this and we continue to hold support, it's going to be a very interesting move north, right? And as y'all know, I love to call patterns a little bit early, and so I'm going to just kind of give you a little example of a possibility. So, like I said, you have this rising channel that could break back down. That would kind of put us into a situation where if it comes up like this, and it hits that and it breaks back down, right, back to retest that 417, and then we come up here, you can see that created that larger 1 hour time frame inverse head and shoulder. Then you would have that neckline. If that neckline broke on that retest of 420, right, then now you have the heavy resistance up here. I mean, that would just literally shoot us up to reclaim that. So that's some stuff I'll be watching. Obviously, the hour time frame can take some time to play out. I mean, if you look where that shoulder would be, I mean, you're talking Friday, maybe Monday. So we'll see how the news pivots it. If it keeps it, within that range. If it does, then we're going to trade it accordingly. So you could look, for some possible upward resistance by just kind of zooming out on that 1 hour. Take the peak here and just draw it down here. Now, there's a nice wick there you can grab. If you bring it down just a little bit and just kind of bypass this wick, right, now you get this point, you get this point. It's a little more, I think a little more accurate. So this could be our push point, right, which is about 428. So if that inverse head and shoulder breaks out, this would be where I would see our first rejection on there. So, but again, guys, the news. I mean, news is wild. I mean, we could jump 10 straight points today, or we can fall. We could be right back to 408. My recommendation to anybody trading today in the room, just either, if you're one that does not control your emotions well, I suggest you just sit out. If you think you can manage your emotions on smaller volume, maybe lower your volume. If you normally trade 5 contracts, trade 2, right? If you normally trade 2, trade 1. Set a tight stop loss on there. Now, I will tell you the news, as you guys know, and I say this over and over again, stop losses are great for your mitigation, but news loves stop losses because, man, if you notice in every news cycle, I can go back and look, it pumps up, it drops down, it pumps up. I mean, they literally just keep wiping stop loss after stop loss, so people that chase it. And then you get emotional, you start trying to revenge trade it to get it back. Creates a mess. So just keep your volume in a position that you can control your emotions if you don't want to just sit out, because a lot of money can be made. So, but we will be trading in the room today for those who are in there. The VIX, so we did get that drop here where that's causing that pump on that short call, but we are finding some support. It's a pretty heavy support level actually for the VIX, so it'll be interesting to see how that turns around. But again, news will always trump the TA. So interesting enough, the dollar actually didn't drop very much to cause that pump, right? So the dollar's still hanging up, which is interesting because, again, if you zoom out, this is a very, very strong resistance level. You can just see it just keeps painting red in here. So if it can flip, the 106.88 is what we had as our mark. Possibly could mark that a little bit higher, but it's around there. The dollar would need to flip above that and hold that as support before it can come back up to this 107 for the higher high. But if it can stay below this, it's likely going to pull back, which will likely continue to push us up. So, but again, I don't normally do these events on big news days because I could tell you all the patterns in the world. I can tell you all the analysis in the world, everything that I see. If the news doesn't support what we see, it's going to change. The environment's going to change. So you have to be able to adapt with the market, adapt with the news. My suggestion, just like we did on the live trader settings, if y'all noticed, I have it set to stop at 2 o'clock. I really should have put that at like 1:30 because with him talking at 2 or announcing the decision at 2 o'clock, we don't want to be in anything even near 2 o'clock on that. So I'll tell you, kind of my last few minutes here as my parting advice. News will always do this. It will pump, then it will dump, then it will pump, unless the news is just all bullish, right, and there's nothing to dump. Then it will, once it does its move up, down, up, then at some point here, you're going to see the trend reveal. So let's say if the trend was going to be south, right, you're going to see it dump again like this, create a lower low, then you'll start to see that trend start to reveal itself. But there's always a crazy move like that. And so this is a lot of money can be made here, depending how quickly you can get in and get out, right? You could also get caught because if you try to enter a call chasing this up here because of that breakout, next thing you know, your position is almost worthless in a matter of 2 minutes, if not less. But vice versa, it could be huge because if you see the pullback, you see that support, and you see it starting to get a little buy volume coming in, you jump in here. I mean, you can make that almost full contract in a matter of a few minutes. So if you're one that doesn't like to get in and out, you can't do your motions quickly, right? You can always ignore this type of movement. Wait for that trend to reveal itself. And if you look back historically, you'll see what I'm talking about. The trend's there. So Bitcoin's pulling out bullish. You can see we had this kind of pennant that we were following for some time. It's just been hanging out towards the top. It is breaking it right now, which is interesting because if the news continues to come out bullish, man, it's gonna run. I mean, we can pull out. Let's see. Let's look at the daily. Man, it's just right there. Look at all this previous support. If it can reclaim this support, I mean, we could be on our way to 40K. Interesting. I'm gonna keep this lower line here. I like this line. At some point we'll get our rejection and we'll come back down into here. But I mean, we're so overbought, it's not even funny. But yeah, I mean, that's what I got, guys. If you're in the community, you guys already know, we got the key levels out for you to watch. Again, watch the economic events. If you're looking for the insights, they are in here. You have those listed. If you're not in the community, this is what we send out to our community every day. Little guidance talking about the ratios. We pull the bullish, bearish. Again, if you're in the community, you want to watch these key levels, because if we don't break, like this one I put out here, if we break downward and we break this key trend line here, right, then you can ride that put pretty, it's going to be almost certain. But if we continue to hold above that trend line, then it's going to continue to push north. So, but we do have some heavy resistance levels, guys. The next level of resistance that I have is somewhere in that 419.70 range, and that could be our news, right? We could push up in the early news release, hit that, and then just reject right back down. So you can also draw just some little additional trend lines to kind of follow, right? So you can kind of push one there. This will help kind of guide you to see which way we're going on the news. And there. As long as we stay above this blue line here, right? If we hang towards the top, we're going to continue up. If you start to break into the bottom level and start to rivet on this, then it's likely going to break. So stay safe, guys. Again, this is just, I do quick 15-minute market updates. If you guys have any questions, you guys can come into our room if you're on TikTok or YouTube. This is our trading floor. You can just sign up with just an email is all you need. And this is our way we chat. So we don't use Discord. Discord is for scammers. So this is directly on our site. So fully controlled, no scammers. We're very transparent in what we do and what we say. So appreciate again your guys' time, and that is all I have. We'll see you guys in the news event today, and I'll have the room up in 9:15.